Welcome to Project Inspiration. Project Inspiration is a presentation aimed to help people be positive in their brains and to help change the world and to help whoever's watching to find their best selves and be a positive contribution to the world. I'm going to put these segments up online so they're available for people to access and to take advantage of. So my name is Nayna. I'm a singer-songwriter. Since I was a little girl, I had a massive passion to change the world. I made Project Inspiration to try to inspire people to do better, to be better the way that I want to do better and be better. And I believe in doing so, we will be able to change the world, which is the end goal here. So I'll be covering 4 sections in this video. We're going to be talking about positivity in section 1, what that looks like in practice, what I even mean by positivity. Then we're going to speak about brain power and how to control your brain to actually be positive and get the best out of yourself. Then we're going to talk about self-expression and what that means for the world, for you to self-express. And then we're going to talk about my favorite part, which is your best self and what that means and how to attain your best self. So let's get into them. What is positivity? And what is life for anyway? Why are you even alive? Do you know why you're alive? I think a lot of us just guess why we're alive, but actually nobody knows why we're alive for certain. So then we make up these stories that help us get by in life. And my story is that positivity is the reason why we're alive. We're here to uplift everything and uplift the world and uplift life into a higher and a higher and a higher place. And I think that that's why we are alive. What we have observed about life so far is that it's very, very big. I have like minute little bacteria on my skin that I can't see, and I have massive planets in the sky that I cannot see, or that to them I'm a bacteria. So we have definitely comprehended that life is absolutely massive. Another thing that we've observed in life is that we make our ideas come to life. We think of something and then it comes to life, or we can bring it to life. So we thought of a plane and then now the plane exists. We thought of a train and now the train exists. So we have observed that things that you think of and that you imagine, you could bring them to life. And then finally, we're definitely witnessing each other. We do things and other people see them. We do things for other people to see them. And we're definitely here observing each other do things. So what is positivity? I have one simple note here of what positivity is. And positivity is yes. Can I have this thing? Yes. Is this thing possible? Yes. Am I able to do this? Yes. Positivity is yes, yes, yes. And not only is it a yes, it's also a supportive yes. So this is how you get what you want. And I'm going to help you do it. I'm going to give you information to help you, or I'm going to support your brain and your ideas so then you can get to where you want to get to. So positivity also looks like support, something that helps you into getting an end result that you want, or a state of mind that you want. Is supporting you to do what it is that you want to do. Positivity is also availability, so it's available for you to have, for you to experience. And the opposite of that is not availability, so you don't have access to it. It's nowhere to be found. You can't experience it. So for me, positivity is the availability of things being available to you. And then finally, the ability to do it. The resources to be able to do something that you really want to do, or be something you want to be, or think something you want to think. It's just the ability to even do it in the first place. All those things are positivity to me. So in the education system that we have in place right now, we don't really teach about the body parts or the body energies or the energies of the body or life itself. We focus mainly on sciences and mathematics or history and religious education, but we don't really talk about the process of life itself to teach people that this is how life really works. You create something in your brain first and then you bring it to life. So imagination is key to everything, and that is the process of creation, is that you imagine something and then it comes to life. And we don't really talk about that in school, so people are blindly creating things in life without really understanding exactly what's going on in the process, and the process of the body, of the emotions, of how to control your emotions, or what emotions are and how things feel. And when you come across these emotions, what do you do about them? How do you calm them down? We don't really talk about those things in school, of how to maneuver yourself, how to maneuver life, and how to be great in life. So if you don't know any of these things, it's really not your fault, because we don't have systems in place to teach you these important bits of information. So alongside positivity, you have this brain power that I'm going on about. You imagine something, then you have the skills to create your imagination into life, and then you have the ability in the brain to want to explore things and explore them further for example, developing your skills and developing your imagination, you're an explorer in your brain. So you want to see things, you want to learn things. And if you gave your brain attention, your brain will tell you exactly what to do and where to go. If you gave your imagination credit and if you gave your imagination space, then your imagination will take you to where you want to be, or the best place for you to be. Your imagination will naturally take you there. But you have to give your brain the attention for you to even pay attention to what your brain is saying to you or what your brain is imagining. Because if you're glued to movies and series all the time, then you're paying attention to somebody else's creation, and you have your own creative thoughts in the background, like thinking this and thinking that, but you're not really paying attention to them because your focus is on watching somebody else's creativity, which we're going to get into later on. So what did I learn about positivity when I've been diving into what does positivity mean? And for me, what I learned is that there is a clear choice between positivity and negativity, and you could choose the positivity and you could ignore the negativity. But in this world, we're so full of negativity everywhere that we pay attention to them closely and we give them a lot of life, we give them a lot of attention. And what I learned is that you can actually just choose positivity. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's name this one person Peter. So Peter, he has all these like positive things about him, all these like great skills. He also has a lot of negative things about him. So he's good at football, he's good at maths, and he's good at science, but he's bad at communicating, he's bad at getting to somewhere on time, and he's bad at cooking. So in this world, we tend to look at what he's bad at and we tend to tell him, oh, you're bad at this and you're bad at that. And really, if you switch your focus to what he's good at, then you could use his skills and get the best from him instead of choosing to look at his negativity. And when I started to just look at things in a positive way and just use the positive things, my life started to change and become much better. So we have this choice. Do we choose to look at the negative or do we choose to look at the positive? And some people may choose to look at both, but in this world, what we tend to do is just look at the negative and ignore the positive. And for me, I don't even want to look at both. I just want to look at the positive. How can I use you and your skills? How can I utilize you in the best way and ignore everything else that's not good? And that for me has helped me a lot, to look at the positive and to choose the positive over the negative. And by choosing the best perspective and the best side of things, life becomes so much better. Not only for me, but for Peter, because now Peter is being cherished and he's being used and he's been utilized, and his negative sides are not being put on a pedestal and told how horrible he is, and actually he's being praised for his good side, and that makes Peter feel better, and it helps me because I'm using Peter's best sides. And when you do that, you uplift people and you uplift the world. On to the next section. So I was in a negative cycle for a very long time of feeling like I don't belong in this world and being obsessed with how I can leave this world. And in the process of trying to help myself, I came across a lot of information about how to control your brain. And there's a particular word called cognitive behavior therapy, short note, long for CBT. And CBT basically explains to you how the brain works in patterns. So whatever your brain gets used to, your brain carries on doing it repetitively. So it's like your brain is a bit obsessive and it gets into a pattern, and whatever you feed your brain becomes natural at, and it just does it over and over naturally. So if you tell your brain a lot of negative things, your brain is going to start doing that naturally. And actually we've all formed a parrot in our brains, and whatever you tell the parrot is going to keep telling it back to you. Whatever you teach the parrot is going to keep telling you those things. So if you fill the parrot with loads of negative things, then the parrot's going to keep giving you those messages. And if you feed the parrot positive things, it's going to give you those messages instead. So with cognitive behavioral therapy, you learn that you can have a relationship with your brain to teach your brain new patterns, to observe your brain and to see what your brain is doing, and then to intervene, which we call control, in how your brain is thinking and the things that your brain is concluding or thinking. And by having a relationship with your brain, meaning you're giving yourself time to even look at your brain, to observe what type of things that your brain is saying to yourself or saying about other people, and then to actively choose who you want to be in your brain, and then actively doing things to implement those changes. So I want to be a kind person. I want to say kind things about everybody. So now that I've decided that, every time my brain says says something negative, it's going to poke out, because now I'm aware that I don't want that to be in my brain. And then every time it pokes out, I have to then do the work and say to my brain, that's not what I want to do, and replace that information with what I want to do, which is be kind. So if my brain says that person's ugly, I notice that my brain said that, and I'm going to say that person is whatever they want to be. And it's not my judgment to say if they're pretty or not pretty. And actually, I hope in the world somewhere somebody thinks that person is pretty for the sake of that person's happiness. So then you actively change the way your brain is speaking by noticing your brain, by giving it attention, by listening to what your brain is doing. And then you work with your brain to change your brain, and this is called cognitive behavioral therapy. When you realize that you have a parrot that's innocently mimicking everything that you say, then you start to stand up to the parrot and kind of say, well, no, that's not what I want to say in my brain, or no, that's not what I want to believe in. So then you have to start feeding the parrot, which at present, a lot of people's parrots are poisonous because we have taught ourselves to be poisonous. We have to actively now teach the parrot new behaviors and new phrases and new words, so then the parrot is telling you how beautiful you are every day instead of telling you how ugly you are every day. You need to teach your parrot how to be kind and polite and supportive, rather than the negativity that we find ourselves in our brains all the time. So in the process of controlling the brain, I do find it very important to have support around you. And some of us are privileged to have support and some of us are not. For example, a therapist who is a professional in dealing with the brain, in observing the brain, in knowing how to help the brain. A therapist is then able to help you help yourself. So the therapist is very aware of when somebody's wearing glasses. So the glasses is telling you that you're no good at something. The glasses is telling you that this person is better than that person's ugly. So we have these like fogged, dirty glasses all the time, and the therapist is able to identify that you're wearing those glasses and ask you to take them off and tell you how to take them off and tell you why you should take them off. So the therapist is very aware of what the positive thing to do for the self is and what the negative thing to do for the self is, and to be able to separate the two and help you to be a positive person and not a negative person by lifting these glasses off of your eyes. And yes, friends can do that, family can do that if they're aware of that, because if they're not, they're going to promote the glasses, they're going to agree with you because they've got the same glasses on. All this negative talking, all this negative self-criticism, they're going to agree with you. So having help and support outside of yourself while you're trying to control your brain is also helpful. And something that changed my life in the process is having positive influences outside of yourself. People who have good things to say about you, people who uplift you, people who tell you what you're good at, people who notice the good in you. And if you surround yourself with positivity, then you're bound to control your brain in a positive way that's helpful for yourself and for others around you. And actually that helped me a lot when I was stuck in a negative cycle. I was listening to somebody outside of myself tell me how great I was, or pointing out the skills that I do have and pointing out the things that I am good at, and it started to make me feel excited about myself. So surrounding yourself with positivity is a very sure way of being able to control your brain in a way that helps you and not hinders you. And right now our negative cycles are hindering us because they don't help us shine, they don't uplift us, they actually push us down and doesn't help us at all. So what did I learn about controlling the brain? I learned that it's very, very possible to change your brain. It's very possible to control it by starting this relationship and observing yourself and how you think, and then forcefully implementing the new information that you want your brain to spit back at you, or that you want your brain to create. There's definitely a way for you to do that, and you start by just simply observing yourself, spending time with yourself alone, thinking about yourself and your brain and how you think, and then having support outside of yourself to help you see clearly, and having these positive influences is all very, very important for you to be able to control your brain. Okay, on to the next section. So, self-expression, the point of life. What do you think the point of life is? Why do you think you are alive? And what do you think self-expression looks like? Do you think it's just simply saying your name, this is who I am, Is it saying what your preferences are, what your favorite food is, what your favorite drink is? Is that self-expression? Because for me, self-expression is way bigger than that, and we're going to dive right into what I mean by saying that. So firstly, what I mean by self-expression is purely creativity. So the word creativity gets put with artistic things straight away. When you think of creativity, you think of the arts, you think of music or drama or film. And I'm going to explain to you why creativity is not just that. But creativity is what I mean by self-expression. And this is a really fun process for us, because when we express ourselves in any type of way, it's such a fun thing to do. So we dress up and we put on a show. Even if I'm in a science laboratory and I'm showing you these things, I'm putting on a show of my talents and my skills and my information, and I'm giving it to you in a package that I have put together. So expressing ourselves is really fun, and it produces happiness because I'm showing you my creativity and you're receiving it, and this produces happiness. And we use creativity every day. So when you make your bed, you're choosing, if you make your bed, or if you tidy something in your house, you're choosing how it goes. You're aligning something exactly how you think it looks good. So, and when you're putting spreadsheets together at work, you're using your creativity. You're picking and choosing the information that you know in your head, and then you're implementing your knowledge and skills into this spreadsheet, and then somebody else is going to use that spreadsheet. So you've utilized your skills, and you did this by being creative. Or if you're maneuvering the ball on the football pitch, you're choosing how you're going to do things, and you're being creative. And this is such a fun process for us to be expressive in creativity. But we do use it every day, and it's a part of our everyday life to be creative and to be self-expressive. And when we self-express and we use our creativity, we are sharing ourselves with the world. So when the guy is choosing what to do with the ball and he's being self-expressive, I'm there staring at him. And I think that we can't help but stare at people who are being creative. Or if somebody's washing the dishes, like, you tend to just stare at them. Or if somebody's cooking while they're talking to you, you tend to stare at what they're doing, because we like to watch people be creative. It gives us pleasure. It's fun. Not only are you having fun being the creative person, giving yourself to others, but people are receiving you, and they're also finding it fun to receive you being creative. And I think this expression of creativity is actually an art form of life. You show me your creativity, I enjoy watching your creativity. I'll show you my creativity, you enjoy watching my creativity. Is an exchange where we're sharing each other's skills and self-expression, and we both enjoying it. And the best expression that you will ever find, the best version of it, is if you follow your desires, if you follow your feelings, if you follow what you like and what you find fun. That's what I call desire. Then you're going to be the best expressive version of yourself, because then the passion is turned up all the way, and the more passionate you are, the more enjoyable you are to watch, and the bigger the outcome is going to be, and the quality of the product that you are expressing is going to be at its best because of how passionate you are. So if you follow your desires, then you're bound to be your best expressive self. You're going to give the best of yourself because you're following your best desires. Because if you try to follow something that you're not really passionate about, then you're not going to be your best expressive self. You're going to be like 50% of the best. But if you follow your true desires, you're going to be 100%, and that's what we really want. We want people to be 100% because it's entertaining to watch, and it's very useful, and you produce the best products in that way. So what did I learn about self-expression? That is such a gift from life, because isn't it lucky that what I find fun, you want to watch, and what you find fun to do, I want to watch. And not only that, when I'm making my spreadsheets, you need my spreadsheets. So I'm here having fun putting the spreadsheets together, being creative, using my skills and my knowledge, and I'm having fun doing them. Some people don't like spreadsheets, but some people do, trust that. And if you follow your true desires, then you're going to do what you want, and some people want to do spreadsheets. So isn't it lucky that what I enjoy doing, you need, and what you enjoy doing, I need, and I find it fun watching you? Isn't that an amazing exchange? So I feel like it's a gift of life that this art is taking place between us all, that I'm giving you my expression, you giving me your expression, and we need both of them to take place for the world to go round, and we enjoy it. So that's amazing. Okay, on to the final segment. So, finding your best self. This part really excites me. I wonder if you know what you're good at, and I wonder if you know what your skills are, what makes you happy, what do you truly desire to be good at? Do you know what those things are? Have you ever made a list of the things that you wish to be in life and what you want to be good at? Have you ever made those lists? And this self-reflection of making a list of who you want to be and what you want to be good at and what do you want to do with your life and what you want to do with yourself, this for me is the most exciting part of self-expression, because you spend time with yourself, reflecting in yourself. You have a blank canvas and you could choose whatever you want. And because you're naturally led by desire, then you're naturally going to choose the things that you're excited about if you allow yourself to choose your desires. And isn't that exciting that you get to fill a canvas, a blank canvas, and you get to design it the way you want it based on your desires and your true wishful thinking. And this is how you begin to create your best self. You get a blank canvas and you ask yourself, what do I want to be good at? What am I already good at? What am I already good at with my skills? What am I not good at that I wish I was good at? And how can I build myself? How can I make myself good at something that I want to be good at? And what am I going to do with all of this? And who do I want to become? And who do I want to be? And not only in terms of skills and in terms of life purpose and life paths, but even the way I look, the way I speak, the way I think. Who do I want to be? Do I want to be kind? Do I want to be kind and cheeky? Do I want to be this or that? When you spend time with yourself thinking about these things, it's a really, really fun process, and it's really, really one of my favorite things to do. And I think that everybody should do that, to find their best self. Put your best foot forward, your best picture forward, and then go ahead and create that in yourself. Who do you want to be? What skills do you want to be? Put that on paper and then create that for yourself. And if you follow your passion, your desire, you're going to create something that excites you and that excites the world, because people want to watch you being your best self. And how exciting that you can train yourself to become better at something you want to be better at. So if you're not naturally good at something and you want to be, how can you make yourself better? What training do you need? What time do you need to dedicate to this thing? And that's so exciting, because if I wanted to be a better dancer, I could dedicate some time to being a better dancer. I could get into training, but that's going to be so exciting for me because I love dancing. And I want to be great at dancing, and I'm not really good at this type of dancing or that type of dancing, but I want to be. So isn't it exciting that we could dress ourselves up and then train ourselves to be great, so then we are our best self? And you know, this best self, the more best it is, the better it is for the world, because you are really needed in the world. So everything that you're putting in your canvas is needed in the world. Your spreadsheets are needed, your football skills are needed, your dancing skills are needed, your scientific skills are needed. So whatever passion that you have is needed in the world. And isn't that amazing? And not only in the workplace, but in your personal home. So all of my skills that I have, that I give to the world, I also give in my home, and they're really needed. For example, I could fix something that's broken, I could paint the walls, I can change this carpet, I could put a wardrobe together. So because I have these skills, then my family benefits from me having those skills. So not only does the world benefit, but also your family benefits from you being your best self. And you know, this process of painting the canvas exactly how you want it and being your best self, putting your best self forward, this is a form of self-love. So if you're confused about how to love yourself or what self-love is, all you have to do is spend time with yourself, paint your best self canvas, and that is self-love all by itself, because you're dressing yourself up in its best form. And then when you do that and you start to, first of all, when you do that, it is already a form of like, wow, I could be amazing. That's a form of self-love anyway. But then when you achieve the things that you want to achieve, like developing these skills, and when you do that, you're going to be even more proud of yourself. And that's another form of self-love, to be proud of yourself. So spending time with yourself, developing yourself, and then achieving it is all a beautiful self-love mode, because you observe who you are and then you appreciate who you are. Best form of self-love, if you ask me. So what did I learn about finding my best self and concentrating on my best self? And I learned that it's another gift of life, because isn't it amazing how much is available to me that I'm excited about to put on my canvas, to paint the canvas how I want it to be. There's so much to choose from, like what colors do I want to wear, and what type of mannerisms do I want to have, and what type of thinking do I want to have, and do I want to be clever, or do I just not want to be clever? Like there's so much to explore You know, some people don't want to be clever, but there's so much to explore in the world. Availability of filling up your canvas. And isn't that just amazing that life has that available to you? And I know that this world is a little bit tricky to maneuver, but we're getting onto that. We have to change the world. But in most cases, it is available to you to create your best self. And isn't it amazing that the world needs that? And what I also learned is that if you don't know what your best self looks like, and if you don't know what you're good at or what you're naturally good at, because some people have that problem, I can guarantee you that if you ask somebody around you, they will tell you without a problem, because humans, they like to be asked questions, especially questions that they know the answer to. They love to be asked a question. So if you don't know, ask the people around you, what do you think I'm good at? What am I naturally good at? Where do you think I shine the most? If you could paint a picture of me being my best self, what would that look like for you? And if you ask the people around you, they will happily tell you. And they will also happily tell you the negative if you ask them that too. But like we said, we want to concentrate on the positive. Because if you ask somebody, what am I bad at? They will also be quick to tell you. So if you concentrate on the positive, people will be quick to tell you what you are good at and what your best self looks like. So if you don't know, somebody can help you to discover your best self. So, closing conclusion to Project Inspiration presentation. I wonder how you want the world to be. I wonder if you could picture how you want the world to be. What will that picture look like? And whatever that picture is, create it. Bring your imagination to life. Create that world that you want the world to be. And if we choose positivity instead of the negativity, and if we all did that and we concentrated on our positive traits and people's positive traits and used our positive skills and used other people's positive skills, the whole world would change. If we all did that, the whole world would change. And it's that simple. Choose positivity, concentrate on the positivity, and the world will change. So I want to leave you with a closing note. I think you are amazing. I think you have every right to choose your best self. I think you have every right to choose the positivity, and I think you have every right to create a beautiful, positive world where you shine and everybody shines and we're all supporting each other. I think you deserve that because you are amazing, and positivity will change the world. Happy people create happy worlds. Sad people create not happy world. So if we're all happy and we're all positive, we're going to create a beautiful world, and that's how you change the world. So share and inspire your positive outlooks. Be somebody's star, be somebody's light, and other people will be a star and a light to you. So actively choose to be somebody's star, to be somebody's North Star. The North Star was used to find your way home. People used to follow the North Star to find their way home. So be somebody's light to find their way home to positivity. Right, I hope you've enjoyed this presentation by Project Inspiration, and I shall see you very soon. If you're interested for me to come and do this live to your establishment, I will be happy to do so, and I could perform for you also, and I shall see you very soon. Okay, goodbye.